The 379-mile-long Stikine River flows through northwest British Columbia in Canada into southeast Alaska near Wrangell. Stikine is the Tlingit word for Great River. Beginning in Tuatin Lake, the Stikine flows through wild Class 3 waters into lodgepole pine country of the Spatsizi Plateau. Proposed massive mining projects on the upper river in Canada provide an urgent need to designate this free-flowing wilderness as part of the Canadian Heritage River System. Without this designation, the Stikine, one of the great rivers of North America, remains vulnerable. The 50-mile-long, 1,000-foot-deep Grand Canyon of the Stikine is virtually unrunnable. The Stewart Bridge on the Steets Highway just above the canyon is the exit from the upper river. A 107-mile hitched ride to Telegraph Creek provides stunning views into the raging canyon. Originally a Tahltan Indian community, Telegraph Creek during the gold rush to Alaska hosted 10,000 inhabitants. Flowing through the Cassiar Mountains and Coast Range to the delta, glaciers, jagged sharp peaks, wildlife, and magnificent forests explain why in 1879 John Muir called the Stikine a 100-mile-long Yosemite. The powerful, big-watered Class 2 to 4 Cheney-Alsek River system in northwestern Canada and Alaska cuts through the St. Elias Range, the highest coastal mountains in the world, creating a mile-wide river corridor amid the ice fields and high peaks. The Cheney is a challenge from the start, with a 10-mile Class 3 to 4 narrow whitewater canyon that broadens into more typical swift Class 2 to 3 glacial whitewater with sections of huge standing waves. Flowing through a lush river valley carved out of precipitous glaciers and mountain ranges, a wide range of species can be seen, including moose, wolves, both black and brown bears, mountain goats, and many species of birds. Because of its high conservation values, this river system was saved in the 1980s from a proposed huge open-pit copper mine and big dammed lakes of stored acid mine waste, a threat to the river's healthy salmon runs, much like the current proposed pebble mine in Alaska. In 1994, the area's extraordinary special qualities led to designation as a UNESCO World Heritage Area. With protection from the Cheney-Alsek Provincial Park, Kluane National Park and Yukon Game Preserve, and Glacier Bay National Park, the Cheney-Alsek River System is in the world's largest preserve. Copper River is a fantastic 115-mile float from Chitna to the delta at Cordova. Salmon are its most important sustainable cash resource. Historic remains of the Copper River and Northwestern Railway follow the river. Miles in Childs glaciers calve right into the river. But this watershed needs protection. Right now, the greatest threat is the potential of oil pollution from an aging and poorly maintained Trans-Alaska pipeline that crosses 5 major Copper River tributaries, all salmon-spawning rivers. And, despite its international importance to migratory birds, the Copper River Delta is vulnerable to development. South Nahanni is a premier whitewater glacial river in Canada's Northwest Territories. The river courses 310 miles from its headwaters at the Moose Ponds to Nahanni Butte, where the Nahanni meets the Liard River. Flowing through 4 canyons towering nearly 3,000 feet high, the river plunges 295 feet over Virginia Falls, more than twice as high as Niagara Falls, and passes the Rabbit Kettle Tufa Mounds, the largest in Canada. Incredible igneous batholiths form the towering Ragged Range. Mysterious names like Broken Skull River, Deadman's Valley, and Sunblood Mountain speak to hazards that have claimed many lives. Whitewater lovers will enjoy the first 50 miles of Class 3 to 4 continuous whitewater. High water can create huge waves and heavy hydraulics in the lower canyons that can make running the river difficult. Even though the lower half of the South Nahanni is protected by Nahanni National Park Reserve and designation as both a World Heritage Site and Canadian Heritage River, the upper river is threatened by mining development. The greatest threat to this ecologically sensitive watershed is the Prairie Creek Mine, just 32 miles upriver from the present park boundary. A proposal to expand Nahanni National Park boundaries to include the greater Nahanni ecosystem to the headwaters at Moose Ponds is under consideration. Without protection, this great watershed could be devastated by big mines.